So, hello, hello. We're going to get started here really shortly. So thank you for joining me. As people come on, just if you want to post something in the chat, please do that. Welcome to the webinar, and we'll get started here in a few minutes. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm at my office at the Bellagio again, one of my favorite offices. And so this is Cheryl Dobash, and I have had a lot of requests for some of my secrets that I've used to recruit like 103 people now it is for my primary business. And so today I'm going to share those secrets with you. And so as you come on, just let us know where you're coming in from. That would be great. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it by starting with sharing with you a little bit about myself. But I'm going to wait a few minutes because we're a little early and I want to give people time to get on. It's not quite 4:30 yet. So bear with me and we will be rocking this thing really quickly. Nothing like a great latte, especially made with our special Slim Roast. Yes, very so much true. So let me just check and post here that we are going live. And we have about a minute to go and we will start right on time. You'll find that I'm a person that is usually early rather than late. I don't like to be late at all with what I'm doing here. And I feel that it's just a great opportunity to be able to share this stuff with you guys so that perhaps it can help you with your business. And that would be awesome, awesome, awesome. So, all right, so let me just start by sharing with you a little bit about myself and why I would even be here doing this webinar and what I'm doing in my own business. So as I said, my name is Cheryl Dobash, and I live here in Las Vegas with my husband, Rudy. I've lived here for 15 years. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background. I come from Vancouver, British Columbia, although I was born in the U.S., and I moved to the U.S. after 9/11. I decided that I needed to get back to my own country. My kids are all Canadian. Their father is deceased, unfortunately. And so moved to Las Vegas and started an event business, Diamond Star Events, and loved doing events, loved putting people together and assisting people in growing their business. I had done a lot of dabbled, we'll say, in network marketing over the years, but never really did anything big at all. And so then, the economy changed, and when the economy changed, it really touched the whole world in one way or another, like 9/11 touched the whole world as well. And so, well, the truth is, I just lost everything, and I had to close my business. I got really depressed. I was single and just had to make some big changes. And so, what I decided that I needed to do is I really needed to figure out what it would take to build a massive income and business with network marketing, because that was the only way really to go, is what I felt. So I joined a couple of companies, and at different times, one company at a time is the way my belief system is. And so, to make a long story short, what I also did is I went to one of Eric Worre's first events, and there's where I met 14 people that were making $100,000 plus a month. And I needed to figure out what that was going to take. So I did. I interviewed them and a number of other people, and like about 80 different people. And so this is just part of my story that I share all the time, because it's what got me where I am. And so then I went out to find that right company. And when I found what I thought was the right company, and that company was not the right company. So I went through 6 companies to get to where I am here with my primary business, which is Valentis. And now I want to share with you how I've actually sponsored most of the 103 people that I've sponsored have been through social media. And so I want to share my secrets with you on how to do that, because the truth is that social media is a huge platform. And if you've run out of friends and family and warm market, then you're going to have to go online. And when you look at what Valentis is, and that it's a point-click share business, well, going online makes perfect sense if you know how to do it. And so I teach and use attraction marketing through my online marketing part of my business. And I'll share with you what attraction marketing is as well. And so you see, attraction marketing is what you want to be doing is giving your audience a reason to want to see what you're doing, to want to follow you. So because people don't do business with people unless they know, like, and trust you. So what you're going to learn here today from me is what kind of things did I post? How did I find people to add to my friends? How did I build my friend list? You're going to learn how many times a day I posted, what kind of things that I posted, and you're going to learn how to get an appointment, how to set up your schedule with 10 appointments a day, all from social media. You're going to learn what times of day is best to go and be on your Facebook. You're going to learn how to close the sale, how to close the deal once you've got the person, and what you're going to also learn what to say to get the person to want to talk to you. So let's get right into starting with your profile. You want to have your profile all set up. So through this conversation today, which this will be probably 30 to 45 minutes, but through this conversation today, you're going to learn my big secret as to what I did that got the appointments, and that I used that technique to get 33 appointments when I first started. Use that technique to get 33 appointments within a day and a half. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. And so first of all, I want to go back to your About section. You want to make sure that it's all filled out, that you've got stuff in there. Not necessarily, you don't want your links in there to your business. You want to be branding you. And I know some of you might not agree with this, and some of your sponsors may not agree with it either, but Truthfully, that is the way to build a massive business. Might take a little time for you, but in the end, you will surpass everyone that is posting their links in their About section. And so that's number one. Number two is, how do I build my friends list? Well, I want to build my friends list to, you can have like 5,000 people on your friends list. And so let's say you have 200 or 300, or maybe you already have 2,000 or 3,000. So let's just say that you have 200 or 300. So you want to keep building that list every day. So you want to add 20 people to your friends list every day. How do you do that? Well, you go out into different groups, where groups of interest to what it is you're doing, to your health and wellness, to your business. And I'm not going to always use my primary information, because there will be other people watching this webinar that are not in my primary business. So I want to kind of make this generic, because anyone can do what I'm about to share with you in building your business with Facebook. So where do you go to find those people? Well, network marketers are a great target they're just a great target, because here's why network marketers are a great target. And you can find network marketers all over. You can find them in all kinds of different groups there. And if you join the group, then you can go to the members, you search them out, you see who looks interesting, you can see a little bit about them as you just hover over their name, and see if there's someone that's in the United States that you might want to add, okay? And so why are network marketers such a great target? Well, 95% of network marketers are not making the money that they want to make. They also are not with a company where they're getting support. Often their sponsors put them in and they never heard from them again. As well, their sponsor may not even be doing the business. And often the company that they're with doesn't have things in place that allows them to build a successful business. So they are a perfect target. However, you're going to have to be doing things on your timeline that's going to attract them to you. And so when you send, and I'll get to that in a second. So when you find that person in one of those groups where you are, and you click on add friend, but at the same time you send them a private message giving them a compliment about something, because wherever you found them, you'll be able to see something about them. And so once you've done that, pay them a compliment, like hello George, it's great to see you on social media. I really liked your banner, or I found you in Robert Kiyosaki's group and really loved the comment that you made on Robert's post. You know, like what is it that you do? And then you sign your name. And it's very important also to sign your name, even though they know it's coming from you. It's a note. It's in the place of a handwritten note. So that's how you're going to get them to accept your friendship. That's one way. All right. That's the very basic way. Anyone can do that. Now, my secret way is a little different, which I'm going to come to shortly here. So adding 20 people a day to your friends list. Now, if you did that 7 days a week, even 6 days a week, your friends list would really start to blossom, and you would have a lot of people that were there, you know, waiting for you to do business with them, or they're waiting to do business with you. And so, so then let me go on to all of those people that are already your friends. Now, what would you do with those people? Well, here's a suggestion, and here's what I did. Here's what I do all the time. So those people that were my friends that before I started this system, I hadn't really talked to many of them. You know, people sometimes get on your friend list and you really don't know who they are. And so what I do is I send them a message, and that's the secret part. But I'm gonna come back to the secret part in a few minutes. And so So then what kind of things would I be posting on my timeline? Now, I'm only talking timeline, not a fan page, because until you have mastered how to do this and recruit people on your timeline, you don't need a fan page at all. You first have to master this. And so what would I be posting on my timeline so that people wanted to follow me, wanted to know, wanted to see what I was doing up next? Well, first of all, you want to be posting always positive, uplifting things, excitement. You want to be creating excitement because you have to remember that people don't really go to Facebook to buy. They go to Facebook to make friends and to socialize and to have fun. And so you want to be posting about your lifestyle as if you're living the life of your dreams, really. You might not be driving the perfect car that you want. Like maybe you didn't just go and get the new 2017 Mercedes, but you could have a picture of that car and that's your dream car. If you have a spouse and kids, you want to be posting things about your spouse, your family, your kids, things that you're doing, positive, uplifting things. If your kids are in sports, post something about that with pictures. People love pictures. And um, so that's number one part of what you post. The second part is you want to be posting um, really giving value, things that people can read that and think, oh wow, that's a great idea. Like here's an example to that. So if you post a quote by Jim Rohn, and maybe that quote was about fear, and so because most people have a challenge with getting through their fear, to make cold calls, to do all that stuff, and I'm going to give you another secret about that at the end of this webinar. So stay tuned, because you're going to get all of this good stuff towards the end. And no, I'm not selling you anything, so don't worry about that. So giving value, posting valuable statements like how-tos. Like, you know, if you had a Harley shop, for example, or you had well, let me use the Harley shop first of all. So if you had a Harley shop, you would be posting fun things about Harleys, about riding Harleys. And you wouldn't be posting political things because that's not a place. There's not a place in your timeline to be posting political things or religious things. I mean, yes, praying for people and all of that, but I mean where some people will go drastic with that stuff. You want to keep it all very positive and uplifting. And religious things are positive and uplifting. So don't misunderstand that statement. So so then you, let me think now, I threw myself off. You know, when you do these things live, you really put yourself on the spot. You got to just be able to talk. So I don't even have notes here. I have a few notes. But this is all coming from my mind as to what I do every day. So now let me share with you a little bit more on what you're going to post and where would you find good positive content to post. And if you're posting a quote from Jim Rohn and it's about fear, what how would that look? So you would post the quote, and under it you would say something about how you walk through fear, and then you would have a call to action saying, oh, you know, share with us what you did to get through fear of making cold calls or of whatever it is. You always want to have a call to action in that post because you want people to respond, you want them to comment, and you also want them to like the post. And then what you're going to do when they do that is you're going to respond to underneath the post. You're going to respond to with the reply button to their comment, thanking them. But more importantly, you're going to go over and you're going to private message them something. And I'll come back to that in a second. And so then with the people that liked your comment, you're going to go and private message them as well. Now, what would you private message them? Well, something as simple as this. And I'll just give you a complete example here. I've got it in my phone. as to exactly what I said to this person. It was saying, I said, hey, um, Suzanne, great to meet you. Thank you for checking out my videos, because the person liked my video. Thank you for checking out my videos. I see you are in California. What do you do? That opened up the conversation. And I'll tell you what happened next in a few minutes. And so that's how you want to handle the post. Now, I want to talk a minute about what time of day are you going to be on your computer, on your phone, doing this stuff, because this stuff is not revenue generating duties. This stuff is searching and sorting. Okay, when you're speaking to a person live, that is revenue generating activities. So what time of day would you be on your computer getting these appointments? Well, yeah, how I do it is early in the morning, in the evening, not through the day. I don't, because people are at work, people are doing other things, and weekends are great. So early in the morning, later in the evening, and weekends are fabulous times. And so then let's talk about how I get that appointment. Well, with that one, I didn't use my big secret technique, but you could call this part of the secret technique, I guess, if you wanted to. But so let me just tell you what exactly I said to this person to get the appointment and speak to her right away. So what I said to her is, that was the first part. I said, hey, Suzanne, great to meet you. Thank you for checking out my video. I see that you're in California. What do you do? Well, the next part she responded with, I'm in the mortgage industry. I said, cool. How do you like that? Question mark. And then she said, well, 27 years later, still doing it. LOL, it pays good and hard to walk away from. I said, have you ever thought of adding something simple? She said, which would be 2 question marks. I said, well, can you talk? She said, not until after 3 Pacific time. I said, okay, well, that will work because I'm in Vegas, you're in California. What's your number? Mine is, and I gave her my number. She fires off her number to me. We have an appointment to talk at 3 o'clock. Does she really know what I do? No, except that she watches my videos and she's checked my about section, so she knows that I'm doing something online, that it's successful because I'm all over the place, and she wants to know more. That's really what happened with that whole lead. Now, where is that lead now? Well, I've spoke to her on the phone. That's a different topic. I'm not going to get into that right now as to what I say to them on the phone, but I will on another webinar. And so she's looking at my business right now as we speak. So that happened Thursday. This is Saturday. She's looking at the business, and then I'll be following up with her Monday. We've set the time to follow up. So that was very simple, very easy to get the person's phone number. Now, so let me go on to my secret way that, now, I mean, maybe you know about this. I don't know. But if you do, you would be using it all the time. So here's what I do in most of those people that I send a friend request to, or if they're already a friend on my Facebook, I send them something like this. So I'm just going to read it to you. And so this is it. So I sent them the friend request. I added them as a friend, and then I sent this message. And here's what it says. Now, this is how I fill my schedule with 10 appointments plus a day. Phone appointments. So I said, hi, Tracy. Great to meet you. How are you? Hey, I'm doing a private session on how to recruit for business on Facebook. Would you like an invite? I have a few openings left. Well, they always, 90% of the time, they respond with sure. So then my next thing is I say, oh, perfect. What time zone are you in? They tell me Eastern, Pacific, whatever. I say, oh, okay, is during the day or evening better for you? And they tell me, I say, all right, I have an opening like Monday at 2. I'll need your cell and your best email. That's what I send them. They fire it off back to me. Then I say, and here's my cell, so you'll know who's calling. So that's how I set up the appointment. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, well, what do you do then? How are you going to? Because I said I'm doing a session on how to recruit on Facebook, right? That's what I said. That's giving huge value. And so that person, you would know, that person is a network marketer, most likely. Sometimes they are a nurse, sometimes they're a financial planner, sometimes they're a hairstylist, massage person. I have done business and sponsored many, many people in all those professions with that same technique that I just shared with you. So then what would I do next? Well, when I call the person, about an hour before I call them, I'm going to send them a text message reminding them of our appointment and confirming it. Now, sometimes people stand you up, and for those people that stand you up, well, I have something that I do for that as well, and I'll share it with you. So here's what I do. So if the person stands me up, I might say to them the next time that, if they want to reschedule, because often they do, they want to reschedule, something came up, and so on. And so then I would say to them, well, okay, so we can reschedule, but now are you sure? Are you sure that this is something that you even want to do? Are you sure that, sorry that I'm getting pop-ups here. Are you sure that this is something that you even want to have a look at? Oh, yes, yes, yes. And then often they will message me that that they have an online business, but they haven't been successful, and I really need to know this stuff. And so yes, I really do want to reschedule. So I'm so sorry that it didn't work out the first time. That's often what happens. Once in a while, you'll get a person that they weren't serious anyway, and they just aren't the kind of people that follow through or follow up or are accountable. So you just you just tick them off. You don't want to deal with those kind of people. So here's what happens when I get the person on the phone. Now, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to find out all I can about this person, because I want to see if what I have is even a fit. Because remember, now this is not about selling them what I've got. This is about, first of all, finding out if it's a fit. Because I'm looking for serious people that want to do something different with their life. And so here's where it gets interesting and fun. And so here's how it goes. And you might want to be taking notes of this. This is being recorded, by the way. And so here's how it goes. So I get them on the phone. And so it's, hey, Sandra, it's Cheryl from Las Vegas calling. Is this still a good time to talk? She says, oh, sure, yes, I'm ready. And hello, how are you? And, the social stuff. And I say, well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I'm really excited to get to know more about you. So before I tell you how you could use Facebook, I had said I would give you some ideas on how you can use Facebook to in your own business, and even today, completely free, some ideas that you can use for your own business. So before I go into that, would you mind if I ask you a few questions so I could help you even more? Well, she says, oh, all right, that would be great. because she wants a lot of help. Excuse me, I have to have a drink. So then, um, so I start with, okay, so Sandra, I see that you live in Texas. How long have you lived in Texas? So she tells me, oh, that's wonderful. So, and what do you do for your, are you full-time employed, or do you have an online business or a network marketing business full-time? Like, what is it you do? So she's going to tell me all that stuff. And then I say, so do you have kids? Like, do you have a husband? Like, she's going to tell me all that stuff. People love to talk about themselves. They just love it. And so I'm making notes because I want to come back and address some of these issues, some of these things that she's saying, because sometimes they are issues as to why she's not growing her business already. So often the person will tell me that, well, I would love to be able to quit my job, but I can't because my network marketing business just isn't going as well as I'd wanted. And so, maybe she's with Fruit Loops Incorporated or something. We'll just use that as a name. And excuse me. So she tells me that. So then I say to her, well, really, well, working from home is fabulous. And so, but let me ask you, like, if you were able to quit your job, what kind of money would you want to be making? Because I'm going to want to know, like, how big are her goals? That's important. So she's going to tell me, and if she says, well, sometimes people will say, well, I never even thought of that. How much? You know that they don't know how to dream. Or she's going to say, well, I would need at least $3,000 a month so that I could quit my job. And so then I would say to that, so then maybe $5,000 a month would really help you to feel secure in quitting your job. Oh, yes, that would be great, she says. Okay, well, that's awesome. And so then before I get into telling her the tips that I'm going to tell her about Facebook, I'm going to say, well, can I tell you a little bit, Sandra, about myself so you would know why I would even be able to share this stuff with you? So, of course, she says yes, because we're building this great rapport. Now, there's the know, like, and trust factor here that we are really putting it down. We're really getting it good. She's really liking the things that I say, and you'll see that in a minute here. And so then I say, well, okay, so I live in Las Vegas, as you know, and I tell her a bit about me. I'm married, and that I've only been married for a short time, and that I have these kids, and they're where they are. And so I tell her, about myself. And that, I also say I have a primary business. And I have a full-time home business online marketer. I do some offline stuff too, and I teach it, but I'm full-time in my primary business. So that got her interest right there, because she wants to work with someone that is doing what she wants to do. She wants to be a full-time at-home worker. So she said that. So I continued to tell her a little bit more about me and a bit about my background and the things that I've done in the past, and why it would how it's helped me with what I do now, that I'm a law of attraction coach, and all of those things that probably you guys listening to this webinar, you already know those things, but if you don't, they're all over the internet. So then I say, okay, so now you see, now when I was telling her about myself, I said probably 3 times that my primary business is where my big money comes from. My primary business, I'm at home full-time working on my primary business. Well, that's got her interest, and she's now saying, well, what is your primary business? And I say, oh, well, I'll share that with you, but first of all, let me share with you these ideas about Facebook. Oh, okay. Well, sometimes the person will ask me 3 times, what is your primary business? And so then before I share that part with her, I tell her this part. So, well, let me give you these ideas about Facebook. So they're really very generic. And anyone could do this. And all you would have to do is, rewatch this webinar a few times, and you would have it down pat that you could go off and do exactly what I'm talking about with success. And you might go back, watch some of my other webinars as well. But so I tell her, well, Sandra, there are more than 1.7 billion people online. Now, I'm going to have to cut this short. I can't believe it. My connection is going to go out. So we're going to have to reconvene this part of the webinar, and I'm going to do it on, I'll reschedule the second part of this webinar on Monday. So I'll put it out there for anyone that wants to jump on, and I'll just carry on until my connection does die. But so I say to her, Sandra, I just wanted you to know in case it dies, that's why. And you will still get this information. So Sandra, there's 1.7 billion people online. So Facebook is a excellent place to build your business if you know how to do it. And so what you want to do, Sandra, is you always want to be posting positive, uplifting things. Now, I just give the general information because if she wanted to hire me to coach her and to teach her all this stuff, she could hire me to do that because I'm a business coach as well. And it's not that I'm trying to sell her on hiring me. What I really want to do is I want to introduce her to my primary business. That's really what my goal is. But if I don't get to do that, if she wants to stay where she is and she wants to learn more, then I'll let her hire me. But I'm only developing the relationship more, and eventually she's going to come into my primary business. So here's the scoop that I tell her. So there's that many people online, and so if you know how to do it, here's what you want to be doing. You can make appointments all day, Sandra, and get people closed into your primary business with using some of these techniques and tricks. Number one, you do not want to be posting your pictures of your product. You don't want to be posting your links at all on your you want your banner to be very something, positive, uplifting, something that's about your dreams and your goals. You don't want it to be a banner of your product. Not that your product's not wonderful and amazing. It's because you don't want to come across as that you're selling. You want to come across as giving value, building relationships, because people want to do business that they think that they have a good relationship, that they know that they like the person and that they think that that person could help them get where they want to go. That's why people want to do business with you. So you do not want to have those links or those products there. What you want to do is you want to be posting, create things that create curiosity. So, and if you look at my timeline, you'll see some curiosity things that I posted today, and I posted them there today just for that perfect example to be able to show you today. If any of you on the webinar, if you go to my timeline, you'll see those curiosity things that I posted. Now, and I've already got people that have PM'd me wanting to know more about that. So, someone was happening. So I tell her that, and then and I say, now, is this valuable to you? Oh yes, this is great. I've never heard about this before, because most people haven't. Most people, they just think that this is just a big selling platform. It's not. It's a relationship building platform is what it is. A relationship building platform is what social media is. And right now I'm only talking about Facebook. Twitter and Instagram are two different things that are a little different. And so then I want to, my computer is going to die really soon here. So that's what I've told her. Now, let me see if I can quickly go in and finish this webinar today for you. So then she's still going to say, well, what is your primary? And so I'm going to say to her, well, Sandra, let me share it with you like this. So let me ask you this question. Now, you had said to me, Sandra, that you were not making the money that you wanted to make, that you haven't been able to quit your job yet, that you don't have a lot of support from your upline, that you don't have all the tools you feel to be able to really create a business with the company you're with, but you love the product and it's got giving you this result or that result. Yes, she agrees. Well, let me ask you this. What if there was a company that everything was in place and that company had a product line that the masses wanted? And when I say the masses, I mean 80% of people wanted that product because they already used it in some fashion or another. And what if, Sandra, this company had a method and a system that you did one thing and you got paid? And what if the ownership of this company was so stellar and was just really like you and I, and really no different at all, except that they had already created a lot of success. And now they have laid out a plan for people like you and I to create enormous success as well. Would you want to know what it is? Well, of course. Well, that's what my primary is. And that's why my primary business is growing at leaps and bounds. You've heard, Sandra, about timing in a company and how important timing is. Well, this company that I'm with, where we haven't even hit the momentum yet, and already we have 91 diamonds in the company. I'm number 28 for diamonds. And so if you're serious about building an online point, click, share type home-based business, and it doesn't matter what other company you're with, you need to seriously take a look at what this is. So does that sound fair enough, Sandra? Would you be open to taking a serious look at what this is? And she says, oh yes, absolutely. What do I need to do? Because by then I've got the rapport. She likes what she's hearing. I've given her value. I've given her information she could go and use, even if she never talks to me again, ever. And now I've told her something that she's never heard before about a company, because my primary is like that. It's something that has never happened before. So then at that point is where I'm going to get to the close of my call with her. I'm going to set up another time, and I'm going to say to her, all right, I will send you a link and you can have a look and you can get a free spot. There's 3 things that I'm going to send her. It's the 4-minute video on the business, and it's my link with the video at the end. And I'm going to say, just click the link underneath and get a free spot. And then I'm going to send her also the 3rd thing is the 24-minute doctor recording. And by the time she seriously looks at those things, she will either be completely in or she's completely out. And usually it's about an 80% that the person is completely in. So I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar because I don't want to have to, start over on where I left off, sort of thing. I'll have a brand new webinar for you on Monday, but with a bit of another topic of one of my other secrets that I use in recruiting. And so I hope that you got value from this. I would love it if you comment on Facebook, if you went to my Facebook timeline and commented where I have the webinar posted, or on anything else that I have posted. Comment and let me know what kind of value you got, because I need to know so that I'm doing the right stuff to share with people. And I thank you so much. I'm grateful to have you here, and I'll see you on the next webinar. Thank you very much, and watch your email or your Facebook PM, and I'll send it to you personally. Thank you. Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.